Hi, my name is Elisha and I'm from Harmony School of Advancement, and I designed and engineered a storage unit for classrooms for the visually impaired. Almost 3% of children younger than 18 years old are blind or visually impaired. A vision impairment is when a person's eyesight cannot be corrected to a normal level. This can be caused when the eye doesn't see objects as clearly as usual. Some examples include glaucoma, cataracts, and more. Visually impaired students face several challenges in the classroom, including difficulties in assessing visual and written materials, reading at a distance, distinguishing colors, and recognizing shapes. These shortcomings can make it harder to learn in a classroom environment. So, we can create accommodations to make it easier for students to learn and thrive in a classroom. When looking into an elementary classroom, you would see storage cells containing school supplies. Children would be able to grab and put back school supplies themselves by just reading the labels stuck on the front of the bucket. I imagined it'd be harder for visually impaired children to read those labels, so instead I wanted to create an alternative that is both functional for teachers and visually impaired students. Instead of labels, I chose to utilize Braille, a written alphabet using different arrangement of raised dots that each translate into a different letter or symbol. To create the product, I first created a design brief using paper and pencils. Then I started creating concept sketches. I created 2 different types of drawings, an orthographic view and an isometric drawing of each part. There are 3 parts to the overall design: the Braille tiles, the bucket, and the base. The Braille tiles would be able to slide into a slot on the bucket, giving you the opportunity to switch lettered tiles in and out to create different words. The bucket will also be able to slide into a 3x3 base, giving you 9 storage spaces in total. For the design, I used red, black, and white. The reason I chose these colors is to utilize contrast. Red is a bright color, which would be easily distinguishable against the white. I chose black for the Braille tile frame to serve as a harsh border against the white tiles. These colors made it easier for visually impaired children to work around the product. I next made measurements for the design. Using a measuring tape and ruler, I made dimensions for each part of the design. I converted the measurements from inches to centimeters, then scaled all the dimensions on a 1x10 scale. I chose to convert the measurements to centimeters because the scaling process would be much easier. I then made all the designs on a CAD software, Inventor. After creating each part individually, I put all the pieces together by creating an assembly. I then printed all the pieces for testing. For testing, I used visual impairment simulation glasses to simulate our target audience using the product. Each tester would wear 1 pair and test using the product, then write down their observations. Testers had difficulty in distinguishing similar colored parts and sliding the bucket in and out, so I changed the slider on our base to white, as well as changed some of the dimensions of the bucket. This is the final product in action. Our teacher wants to store pens in the container, but the current label reads paint. They're easily able to change the tiles and slide the bucket in and out of the base. Then the student is able to read the Braille tiles and know what the bucket reads without reaching inside. Thank you to Makeable for letting me create and design a product geared towards the visually impaired. This experience has taught me a lot about learning about visual impairments and learning about the designing and engineering process. This has been a long but rewarding experience, and I'm grateful for the opportunity to do this.